All right, day 2. First, what the heck did we talk about yesterday? We talked about HTML elements and the anatomy thereof. So what do we have here? What's between the angle brackets? What do we call that thing? That's a tag, right? And we got 2 tags here, an opening tag and a closing tag. The whole darn thing is an HTML element, right? So class and ID. What are class and ID? Attributes. That's right. And greeting and main are their values. So hello world, what's that? That's the contents, yeah. And it happens to be text content in this case. So we learned a little bit about CSS selector syntax, primarily in the context of using it in JavaScript with query selector, as opposed to in CSS, though we did use a tiny bit of CSS at the end. So selectors. How would we select this element using nothing more than its element name? Just P, that's right. What if we wanted to grab it by its ID? What would that selector be? Yep, hash main, that's right. Ooh, by the combination of its element name and ID. Did I do this in both morning and afternoon? I feel like I forgot to do it in one or the other. Maybe not. Somebody say something again. Close, really close. By ID and element name. Yeah, P hash main, right? Dot means something else. How do we grab it by class name? Dot greeting, right? Yeah. And by the combination of the two would be P dot greeting. Yep. So all of this has to do with the DOM, the document object model. That is how your HTML is actually represented in the browser. It parses your HTML and then builds the DOM tree out of that. And if we want to mess with the contents of the page, we are messing with the DOM. So how would we select all elements that match a particular selector using document.what? Query selector all, right. And if we just wanted to find one match, just query selector, right? Yeah, there it is. And then if we wanted to get the text content of it, that is pretty much a self-answering question. It is just text content, right? And we know that we can do that to both get and set it. That's a property that can read and write. So today we will talk a little bit more about DOM manipulation. We'll talk about inner HTML. We'll talk about some more kinds of events other than just simple button clicks. Of course, yesterday we also talked about add event listener. And we will talk a little more about get, since I know it's new to a fairly large portion of the class. So we'll talk a little bit more about how it works and why we even care. Questions about yesterday's stuff? All right, cool.